So Rakk Gear sent their latest gaming mouse before the initial release, and this is for us to review it in this channel. This is called the Rakk Bulus trimode hot swappable gaming mouse. As per usual guys, we'll check its physical overview, features, do some latency tests and more. We'll tell you everything you need to know coming up. So first, let's check what's in the box. Obviously we have the mouse itself, a solid top shell cover since this top shell is interchangeable, a USB-A to USB-C paracord cable around 6 feet, 2 extra kill switch with switch puller, and the manual. Now let's check out some physical overview. So the build, it's all durable plastic with satisfying smooth texture material in white color. There's also a black version just in case you are not into white color thing. It has a very simple design and it is also advertised as ambidextrous, but I'm not sure how the left hand users will be able to use the side buttons. There are no left and right side rubber grips but only honeycomb openings, which is becoming common nowadays for lightweight mice. It also has an RGB strip at the back, and if you look at inside, there is a Rakk logo that glows in different color as well. We have a total of 6 buttons wherein all of them are programmable in its software, which we're going to check out later. If you are curious how does it sounds like, so here is a sound test. Underneath is where you can see the 2 mouse gliders, mouse sensor, Bluetooth or 2.4 GHz dongle switch, also the on and off switch. You can also switch from no RGB, with RGB, or just totally off. Now let's check out some features, and let me begin with the best features of this mouse. First of all, the mouse has an interchangeable top shell, so you can choose from solid design for heavyweight or the honeycomb design for lightweight. It has a very strong magnet, so you don't have to worry about the top shell sliding off during intense gaming. Inside the mouse is where we can find the mouse dongle compartment, Rakk logo, and also all the internal parts of the mouse. Another great feature of the mouse is that it has a hot swappable left and right switches, meaning you can replace the switches without soldering. Simply use the switch puller like this and pull it like so, and there you have it. The switch is removed easily and placing a new one is as easy as reversing the process. This is a good thing, and I think all mouse manufacturers should have a feature like this, since having a broken left and right switch is very common even with known expensive brands. Though I wish all of the buttons are hot swappable, but obviously I'm asking too much. Still, I'm hopeful that I will see one in the future. By default, the mouse has the Hawano blue shell switches, and we have 2 extra Kel GM 8.0 switches. This mouse has a PixR3325 sensor, and for its connectivity you can use it as wired or wireless via Bluetooth 5.0 or 2.4 GHz dongle. It has a blinding RGB design with 600 mAh battery for long hours of gaming. The mouse automatically turns off after 3 minutes of not being used to save battery, and you simply have to move the mouse to wake it up again. It has an 800 to 8000 DPI with 125 to 1000 polling rate. I guess that's all that there is, but if you want to know more detailed specification, just check this out and pause the video. Now let's check out the software. It is very straightforward and easy to understand. We got 4 major sections in it, and it is the Rakk Bulus, macro, settings, and RGB. But let's start with the programmable buttons first. All of the 6 buttons are programmable, and this is where you can interchange the left and right buttons and turn off the side buttons for left-hand users. There are a lot of functions available. Just play around with the settings in accordance to your workflow or gaming. After doing so, just simply apply, and this will be saved in the profile you are in. Speaking of profile, we only got 4 available profiles. You cannot rename or add more profile, which is really unfortunate, especially if you got a lot of games in your arsenal. But you can just export it and load the file each time you play a specific game. By the way, the last profile you loaded will be saved in the mouse itself. Therefore, you do not need to reprogram them again if you use the mouse with another PC. In the macro tab is where we can do your macros. It is straightforward and self-explanatory, so we will not go into details with this. In the settings tab is where you can change the mouse settings accordingly and it will function as it should like in our testings. Lastly, the RGB tab is where we can change the lighting preset of the mouse's RGB strip. No single color unfortunately. Anyway, I guess that's all that there is for its software. Now let's do some latency tests. Now let's move on to the conclusion and let's talk about the things that I like and don't like about the mouse. Let's start with the things that I don't like, and the first one will be the DPI plasticky feel button. It feels like a toy when you press it, and I think it needs a little more stability, so to speak. Another is the glossy material on the DPI and side buttons. Manufacturers should stop using this material because they look terrible. This buttons looks nice from out of the box, but after a couple of clicks and this is what you get. Fingerprints and scratches all over, and I really hate it. If this is a matte black finish, this will look good on your setup. 78 grams is true when there is no top shell, whether it be the solid or the honeycomb top shell. It is not a complaint but more on misinformation from the specs info written on the box. Another is the RGB customization. There are no single color to choose from and you are bound with just these presets, which is really unfortunate. Lastly, the profile saves. You cannot rename it and we only have 4. And if you play more than 4 games with different custom buttons, then that will be a problem for you. Yes, you can still create more profiles and save it accordingly, but you have to manually load it every single time, which is really a hassle. I wish we could have something like if the game loaded, this software will automatically change the profile accordingly. Well, I guess I'm asking too much for a budget mouse, but that will be a nice feature if ever. Other than these things, to be honest, everything else is awesome. First of all, the hot swappable feature. This is the best and an endgame for budget mice, since most gaming mice problems start with the left and right click. And if this too starts malfunctioning, then you will have to buy a new mouse. With this mouse, you can simply remove the old switch and replace it with a new one, which will cost you about less than $2 for a new switch. Another thing is the replaceable top shell. So depending on the workflow or gaming, you can interchange this accordingly. Another one is the latency for the 2.4 GHz dongle. For a budget gaming mouse, this latency is not too bad and performs very well. Obviously, the mouse connection is much better with the light paracord cable for competitive gaming. I love the sensor for its accuracy, raw and responsiveness, and also for its power and cost efficiency. Also the Bluetooth 5.0 so that you can use it with other device on the fly. The DPI and polling rate customization is also appreciated, not to mention the long battery life. Though there are a lot of flaws in its software, I love the part that it saves one profile in the mouse itself, and you do not need to install the software if you will use the mouse with another PC. Basically, with all of this awesome feature for its price, I think this is a steal. And it is an easy recommendation, especially for those who are in the budget and wanted a trimode hot swappable gaming mouse. If you want to grab one for yourself today, you can check out the links in the description, and if you think this mouse is not for you, you can just watch the other mouse reviews we have on your screen. So that's it guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.